All right, people. Yo, what's going on, man? It's your man Verbz in the house. And listen, we're back again, man. Triggered Thoughts Online in the building. I got my sister in the building after a long time, a long break. You get me? But she's back. Welcome back, Divine Lady 23, man. What's going on?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, mate. Good to have you back on the thing, sis.
Yeah, I know, right?
Trust me, it's been a long time, you know.
It has been a minute too long, I think.
This is it. But you know what? Life is life, man. And as we know, life be lifing. So together we just have to just get on with the thing in it and get it cracking. And when you're ready, we record. And I'm just thankful that you're here now for us to be able to record still. And you got a lot of valuable points to talk about. But I want to kind of touch on quickly with you. Well, not even quickly. Let's have a conversation. Let's just flow. Yeah. I want to touch on this whole social media thing because I'm saying, like, obviously we do the content thing. You've had a break. I'm still recording videos and putting stuff out there here and there, just to try and keep the thing running and stuff. Just putting my thoughts out there. But I have moments where when I'm on social media and I've got a post or I've made a video and I go on there and I'm like, my inner strong spirit says to me, Verbz, not today, bruv. Do you get me? And I'm like, bro, and I don't fight it. I just let it lead me, innit? And I might not go on there like that for a day or two. Or if I pop on there, I literally pop on there for 10 seconds to see what notifications I got and then come off and just respond in my own time. There's a lot of madness going on social media right now, especially from what we know of, because that's probably in our algorithm, the BLK diaspora of people. Do you get me? Yeah. There's other stuff, but I just want to know, what is your thoughts on this absolute madness that's going on social media? Talk to me.
Well, as you know, I usually like to take breaks from social media.
Of course.
Because, like I said plenty of times before, I feel like it's the devil's platform. Like, I'll be real, the devil's playground. And I feel like if you get too consumed in it, you begin to forget what reality is. I see that people do that, and people are easily swayed by like 2-3 minute clips. Like, it's wild to me. I think it feeds into people's delusions of who they think they are, because they can be whoever they want to be.
Facts. Absolute facts.
You know, their little keyboards and stuff. I feel like, for me, I have to take breaks from it because it can be draining. It can be taxing on your energy. You meet all sorts of people.
Elaborate on that for me. Like, what is it when you go on social media and you've been on there, say, I don't know, let's just say a day or two, and you feel like, you know what, boy, this feels like spiritually draining. Like, walk me through when you're on there. What kind of pushes you to say, what kind of things do you see, and what kind of feelings do you feel that kind of influences you to stay away from it for a while?
When I see all the killings, when I see how much hatred is being spewed, when I see that there's a lack of humanity, and there's a lack of love for God and our fellow brothers and sisters. When I see all these stories about people getting randomly murdered who are just minding their business on the street, or you got loads of mothers and children being murdered by people that they date, you know, then you got men saying that women have done certain things to them. It's all very toxic, for lack of words, because I know we use that word a lot.
Dark.
Yeah, very dark energy. So for me, I've tried to shift my algorithm a bit, but obviously when you follow certain people and they just constantly post negativity, you're bound to see it either way. Do you know what I'm saying?
So you got a few of them people you're following, yeah?
Yeah, and maybe they feel like they're doing something good, but I feel like there's a way we can advocate for certain things, but do it in a better manner, in a sense where it's not feeding into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I talk about abuse, I'm not just focusing on abuse. I'm focusing on the journey that you can undertake in order to overcome certain things or even understand certain things about yourself, you know, to grow. I'm not going to tell my story about abuse and I'm telling it in such a way that it's just keeping the people who are listening to me or following me depressed and like feeling like, yeah, it's true, woe is me, that happened to me. No, you're not a victim. You're a blood clot survivor. Can I say that?
Of course you can.
Yeah. So for me, I just think it's how you do it. And yeah, social media for me, it's got all sorts of trickery on it.
Yeah.
And all sorts of snakes and chameleons, if we're honest, that are just leading a lot of people down the path of damnation. Let's be real, because a lot of people are not keeping it a buck about how their life really is and their struggles. And I get that you're not going to put everything on social media, but don't get swept up in the glitz and glams of what people post or admiring people's relationships, but you don't really know what goes on, or you see this one driving a nice car, but you don't know what they did to get that car. Like, let's keep it real. You don't know what the hell they did. They could have sold their Ross Clark soul. You want to sell your soul too? Like, live your life for you. Don't follow what no one else is doing. There's so much strength in just owning who you are and living in your truth, but a lot of people don't want to do that. Literally.
That's facts.
We've got a lot of shapeshifters out there, but people ain't ready for that conversation.
Boy, do the spill if you need to do the spill, you know?
A lot of shapeshifters. We got, I mean, I don't want to name any specific names, but you've got like life coach and relationships coaches online who, when you check it, eventually, because they've been so fucking fake, and God's like, is it? Oh, you want to trick the people? But let me show you who really handles business around here. They then get exposed, and then it comes out that they can't even fucking coach themselves. Coach who on a relationship, and your relationship ain't even working because you're actually a snake, you're deceitful, you lie so blood clot much, you constantly cheat, and you lack sexual discipline.
Wow.
But you're teaching people about relationships. Make it make sense.
There's a lot of that out there still. There is a lot of that out there.
You're coaching people on their lives, but your own life actually isn't all the way to par. None of us have it all together. But a lot of people market themselves a certain way because I feel like people like their delusion to be fed.
100%.
So it's a marketing strategy, right? And I feel like some people got it down to a T on social media.
But I think it's become the norm, sis.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's become the norm. Like, people are out here putting out, you know, images or reputation, like putting out a side of themselves to make it look a certain way. And, you know, we might look at it and think, are you calculatingly doing this? Is this, I don't know, really thought about? Or, but I think that this delusional mentality of putting out, you know, displaying yourself a certain way on social media is so thorough that, like, it's actually become the new norm.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you'll get a lot of people who say, I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim and life is great and this and that, but they won't actually tell you the real truth about the struggles of actually maybe following a certain denomination or giving your life to God or Allah or whoever it is that you claim to follow. They won't tell you the truth about that. They won't tell you the spiritual warfares that they've gone through or the attacks that they've experienced. They won't tell you about the times when they've questioned certain things that have happened in their life. You have people who believe in God or Allah and still have questioned if God or Allah is real at certain points, but you'll never hear them say that because maybe they don't think that if they market that way, they will get the audience that they desire, because remember, it's also about numbers. And I feel like if you're really on there to do the right stuff, you don't worry so much about numbers. You don't.
I agree.
Because even if you reach one person with your message, you know within yourself, you've done the right thing, you've done the Lord's work, and you've made a difference.
You know what? You couldn't have said it any better. That's the truth.
But yeah, it's all marketing and pound signs and strategies and feeding into a lot of people's delusions.
Yeah, man, for real. And there's a lot of people on social media doing madnesses, and then they're saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm doing it for the culture." Like, what the fuck does the for the culture mean? Do you get me? Like, well, because you're, I don't know, man. They do all kinds of madness. Like, I don't know, boxing matches, celebrity boxing matches is for the culture. Do you get me? Oh, I'm doing content exposing behind the scenes situations about people's personal lives, but it's for the culture. How the fuck is that for the culture?
That's passa. Let's call it what it is. As Jamaican people say, yeah, the passa. Let's be real. And people like that. They do, because one thing I've noticed about human beings is they love to see somebody else doing worse than them. That's what I've noticed about human beings.
That's a massive point that you're saying there, you know.
Life going downhill, it makes them feel better about their self and the shitty life that they may be living.
That's a big point,
because they themselves aren't content. They're not content with their life.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Because even all that stuff with Mo Gallagher.
Yeah.
Like, I found it interesting, the different responses that I saw on the internet. And I feel like we do a lot of talking about people's lives that we actually don't know fuck all about. We only know what's posted on social media or Google or Wikipedia. But you know that anybody can go on Wikipedia and them things and update information about you.
Yeah, 100%.
So how true is it? And yeah, it was just wild. I think when you shape your whole life around social media, you should expect problems, literally, because you're shaping your whole identity around it. And I feel like people need to know when to lock off from social media. And
so let me ask you a quick question. Sorry to cut you. When you say that people feel that people like to see people doing worse off than themselves, why do you think that is?
Because misery loves company. That saying ain't for no reason. I believe that people who are miserable tend to like to see other people down. They get something from it. Like, a lot of people don't actually love a success story. They prefer to see you when you're down in the mud.
For real.
Because what's so special about you why you get to survive that situation? Who do you think you are to now pop your light? I'm not popping my light. They won't say that, but that's what it is in reality. They're not confident enough to do what the hell it is that you're doing. So they will hate on it, and they're just waiting. You don't even know how much people sometimes, they're following you, yeah, but a lot of them are spectators.
Yep.
A lot of them are not wishing you good energy, and a lot of them are just waiting for your downfall to say, see, I knew he weren't all that, or see, I knew she was like this and whatnot. Trust me, that's the majority of people on social media. That's why you got trolls. They've even created a name for it, trolls. Trolls used to be those little dolls with the funky hair growing up, but now they're people on social media. And now, it just makes it make sense. You are the troll. Like, you really want to be a troll. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like misery loves company, and hurt people. And yeah, you're going to have that, man. It's the devil's playground. This is spiritual warfare, if we keep it real. So you're going to have God's people trying to shine their light, but you're also going to have the devil's people trying to pop their shit too. In reality, that's what it's about. That's why you even see people debating about, oh, my religion's better than your religion. Oh, shut the hell up.
Yeah, that debate's gone mad.
Like, shut up. Like, don't you think we all pray to one God? What, you thought there were separate gods that made a different portion of each people? Like, each person, I'm just like, make it make sense to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like humans created the whole division when it came to that. We have spirituality, but they decided that wasn't enough. So now let's use Jedi mind games by bringing in all these different religions and just watch them fight about it. Oh, and also we'll switch up the Bible too. So you've got to be very careful how you even digest that, because they've taken parts out and probably added parts. Do you know what I mean? But it's all for the power of, I think, hierarchy and keeping the people at war with each other so they won't notice what the top dogs are actually doing to destroy us, i.e. our food, i.e. spraying the skies, i.e. creating all these different scenarios that will create friction between the small people. And then you've got the sheep that will follow that shit and be like, yeah, get all the foreigners out of the country. And
I was just about to bring that up, still.
I can't deal. And that's why I can't take too much of social media, and I have to have a break from it. And I don't feel like I have to give everyone on social media my energy. I don't, because a lot of them are energy vampires and they just want to siphon off of you. Because they're not really focusing on their own life. There's people who are actually living their life, enjoying their life, finding peace within themselves, finding God, finding healing, know when to switch the fuck off social media, because they know that a lot of that shit ain't reality. And if it is, it's a lot of reality mixed in with confusion and propaganda. So you have to pick sense for nonsense. And if you're a weak vessel, then you're going to be an easy fish to catch.
Wow. You're on a roll, sis. You're on a roll.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Whether it's women, men, literally, like, social media is, a lot of temptation in so many different ways. Because if you really focus on a lot of the things that it highlights, a lot of it ain't good unless you set out to seek certain information and to seek certain accounts. Your algorithm is going to show you a lot of negativity and a lot of passa and a lot of brainwashing reels and information.
100%. And there's a lot of people out here that will claim that they're godly people, or religious people, and they're down with positivity. And I'm even talking about, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say names and stuff like that, but I'm even talking about people close that we may know, do you get me, as individuals or collectives. They all say that they're down with the spiritual thing and they're down with the religious thing or whatever, or positivity, upliftment, consciousness. But if you look at their posts and stuff like that, their posts say something different, and they post a lot of shit that is destructive to the minds of people that will view it. Do you get me? It's all about
100%.
shock value. Do you get me? It's all about shock value. Yeah. It's all about negativity, and it's all about clout, likes, and views.
Yeah, and clickbait.
100%.
Because
there's certain things I can't even post, sis. I'm telling you the truth. There's certain things I can't post. Like if I have certain times I'll see videos, I'll download them or screen record them, and I'm like, let me do a response to it or whatever. But due to the magnitude of the video, something in my spirit says, nah, man, don't even bother with that. Do you get me? And I won't post it. Go on.
You'll be spreading the trauma.
100%. And literally. I feel like I got a responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have a responsibility. And a lot of people walk this life thinking this is just it. They don't actually even deep that. No, there's a whole different realm to where we're at now. And what we do here on this realm will determine what's going to happen on the next realm.
Tell them, sis.
Like, they don't see it. They don't see it at all. And that's even why we get so fixated on certain things. Some people are very weak to their flesh. Some people, are addicted to alcohol or weed. We all have addictive natures, Yeah. I've smoked weed. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie about it.
We've all got our
I feel like we have to start being honest about the struggles that we actually have.
Yeah.
Then you got some people who are moved by the glitz and glam of things. And then you also have a lot of what I see that, you see our black men,
Yeah.
they have been brainwashed into thinking it's okay to be free sexually and have no discipline.
Do you think that's just
Spread
black
their
men though?
seed everywhere. Well, I'm a focus on black men because that's all I deal with.
All right,
Do you know what I'm
go on.
saying?
That's fair enough. Go on.
And sometimes it even comes from their own mums. Their own mums have encouraged them, like, if you're going to have loads of girls, just keep it to this number or that. I heard a conversation with someone recently who told me that, and I was like, your mum was wrong for telling you that. Your mum should have been actually telling you that you are a king as a black man, and you should be reserving your sexual energy, because every time you have sex with someone, you are giving your power away. And not only that, if you as a man see yourself building a legacy and you're trying to reach a certain point in your life, one of the things you need to make sure you have is sexual discipline, because you can build your legacy and build up your business and all of that stuff. And all it takes is one woman to come along and file an allegation or just tarnish your name in some kind of way, and you've lost your whole legacy. Yeah, there'll be people that know you and think, nah, he'll never do that. But then there's going to be people who will also believe the stories that are told about you, and then your reputation is tarnished. So I feel like, yeah, we need to teach our black boys from young that they are important, that their bodies should be respected. Their sexual energy is actually their motherfucking power, and they shouldn't be giving that shit to any and everyone. And they should be more discerning about the spirits of the women that they lie down with. Because if men think that they are calculated, I can tell you for a fact that women are much more smarter and calculated at that shit than they are. And a woman could be your downfall if you as a man lack sexual discipline. And then why don't you value yourself? Because let's keep it a buck, yeah? Why don't men value themselves to that point? I gave someone a metaphorical analogy about what I see with men, yeah? Especially being in a dating scenario.
I don't mind getting into this conversation. This is a good one.
Okay, so let's go deep, right?
All right, go.
Men will say they don't like women who do certain things, or they're not too big on women who maybe do BBLs and all of that stuff. But then that's the women that they will go for. Just like I've noticed, I'm going to use these as metaphorical ways of putting it, right?
Go ahead.
You have people who say, oh man, I don't like fast food because every time I eat fast food, it upsets my stomach. But those same people will not take the time out to put the work in to prepare soul food that they know will be more beneficial for them, mind, body, and spirit, and give them sustenance. That's how I see men with women. You have men who don't want the fine china women. They want the paper plate pussy girls. I'm gonna keep it real. Like,
they ain't playing around.
Yeah. I'm tired of playing this game. Like, I want to just keep it a buck. They like the paper plate pussy girls. They like the girls that just hand out their pussy as if it's a paper plate and it's disposable. They don't like to deal with the fine china that they have to take out, and they want to prep that special soul food to put on. No, they want the paper plate that you dash the fast food on, and then they want to complain that their belly's hurting them. Nigga, you digested that shit. Like you digested it. Are you good? Like,
oh my days.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the girls that say, I want the bad boy that loves only me. Babe, let's keep it real. He's a bad boy for a reason. Make it make sense.
Yeah, like, some madness.
Your 1 + 1 ain't adding up to 2. Like, And I see a lot of that out there, and I'm just like, And I feel like it's okay because, sometimes we get comfortable in the uncomfortableness of things. So we choose to stay in environments that we know ourselves ain't good for us. We know that shit be running our belly, but we still be digesting it.
Facts.
Yeah,
absolute facts.
And I see that out there. I see that the standards are very low, and most people don't want to put in the work to prepare that good soul food that's, like I said, it's going to feed their mind, body, and soul, and actually give them sustenance. It's easier to just quickly snatch up the fast food, isn't it?
No, for
Or
real.
quickly grab a paper plate, because after you finish using it, you just crunch that up and dash it with, don't. Whereas your fine china that you wash with delicacy and you shine and polish up and put neatly, it takes work. That's the analogy that I see, the metaphorical way I put it when I see what's going on out there.
So do you think that men are running away from the fine china because they got to put in the work?
Definitely. Because when you meet someone who is actually doing the work, whether it's a woman or a man, it's a reflection back to you in some kind of way of what you need to work on. But we don't see relationships like that a lot of the time. It's a power play, A lot of the time people don't even go in it with clean intentions or thinking, what am I actually going to learn from this? It's more about, what can I take from this? It's transactional.
Do you think that's because they haven't healed before they enter a new relationship?
Yeah. Because everybody's rushing.
Facts.
Everybody's rushing from pillow to post, and you got to get under someone to get over someone. And the Jamaican saying is, you're in a heated rush.
All over the world, everybody's in a heated rush.
Yeah, people are free. People are proper free and don't even use their sense, even when it comes to protecting themselves.
Yeah, that's a mad one, those two.
And I'm like, for me at this big age, I'm like, I don't want no flesh-eating vulvar infection that after it yams out your front, it then infects the rest of your body and kills you. There's a flesh-eating STD out there right now.
I saw that, and I thought it was fake at first.
Nah, I don't think it's fake, bro. Like,
nah, I think it's real. At first, I thought, nah, this can't be, man. Not that because I've got sexual discipline now, innit? But I'm just saying, like, I thought that shit wasn't real. But do you know what? I realized that when you've got a lot of promiscuousness going on in humanity, when it comes to sexual health and that, it goes down the pan. Different types of sexual transmitted infections start to evolve. Mutate. And become problematic. Yeah, that's the word. Mutate. I remember back in the day, around about early 2000s, I remember there was a stage when you could only get gonorrhea from actual full contact sex. And I remember the younger generation, those times I was in my probably 20s, the younger generations, the 14, 15, 16-year-olds, they started, no disrespect, but I'm going to say it as it is, the black guys and that, the young black youth started dabbling in dealing with white girls, and there was a lot of fellatio going on. Like, they wanted the girls to give them head, and it was a massive thing where all of them was, yeah, man, she give me. I remember my brethren's younger brothers and all that, like, yeah, man, I got head, rare, all that kind of shit. And it made gonorrhea mutate, and then gonorrhea began to spread via oral sex, so people was getting gonorrhea in their mouth. Do you remember that? Yep. Madness.
It's crazy. Yeah. People think that if they divert from the normal way of doing sex and they try anal or they do throat action, that it's going to save them. It's not saving you. Even condoms do not save you.
Facts.
They don't save you from the spiritual ties that you will have with that person once you lay down with them.
Jeez.
If you're someone who's tapped in, you're going to start to pick up signs and synchronicities and all different things about that person. Because you have now entered into a covenant with them. Literally.
Real talk. People need to know these kind of things though, man. I think some people know, but I don't think much people know. I think they feel like the whole sexual acts thing is just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, or wham bam, thank you, geezer type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But they don't realise that, you know what, like, people walk around with spirits on them, man. And if you start troubling them and that, all those historic spirits that they've had with all those people they laid down with before, they then jump on you, and then you start to go through experiences where nothing in your life that you want to happen is manifesting, and you're thinking, rah, why is it when I'm going through this job, I'm not getting it? Why is it like all this madness is happening in my life, all this drama, all these problems, my friendships are messing up, I can't keep relationships, all these, we don't realize, you know, sometimes there's a spiritual husband or a spiritual wife hanging on your back that is possessed with you and is like, nothing ain't controlling you but me.
Yeah, and you have to do cord cuttings and all those sorts of spiritual things that people don't realize. Like, it's so deep how we've been tricked into seeing life a certain way when really it's a lot deeper than what meets the eye. Even things we speak over our life, even the music we listen to or the things we watch,
the words
it's
we
all
use.
energy.
Yeah,
Exactly. You know, let alone lying down with someone and letting them plug into you like an energy source. Because that's basically what it is,
you ain't
right?
playing around. You ain't playing around.
But that's basically what it is. Imagine like a plug going into a socket. That's what happens when the man enters into a woman. And once you enter that plug into the socket, there's an energy surge, right?
Facts.
It's the same with a man and a woman. So I don't understand why people think it's any different. You need to know what you're doing when you lie down with someone, because people even don't realize sometimes you might start messing with someone. All of a sudden, you keep getting sick. Sometimes that's a sign that you're with the wrong person. But because you didn't ask God first, because we're human, right? We came here to have a human experience as well as a spiritual one. Sometimes we are led by our flesh or our wants, you know, things we want. Like, I want to be in love. I want to be with that person. That's my person. Fair enough, okay. But
it's not what you need, isn't it? It's not what you need, yeah.
Did you ask God first? Because sometimes, you can connect with someone, but if they decide not to do their spiritual work and they have entered into that covenant with you, knowing that the whole foundation of that ish is based on lies and deceit and manipulation and coercion, because they didn't come with the truth in the first place, then guess what? If you are someone who's highly protected, expect that shit to keep crumbling down. Expect God to give you some signs, whether it's in your finances, your health, even transfer of energy. Look at yourself in pictures before you even entered into a relationship with that person, and then look at your slow decline.
You ain't playing.
Look at your slow decline through the pictures that you take whilst you're with them and all sorts. And even after you've had to cleanse the fucking residue of the energy they've left on you. I know, I've lived it, I've been there, I've done it. That's why I think you shouldn't play with your sexual energy.
I like that.
You shouldn't. I know a lot of women don't even have standards, because guys talk to me on a level. They tell me.
What kind of things you hear? Let's spice it up.
I've heard some crazy things. I've heard how some of you ain't washing your ass crack.
What? Are you for real?
Yeah, and that some women don't smell good.
Wait. When these guys are saying that some of these women ain't washing their ass crack, are they chopping them? Are they still chopping them though?
Some guys will still chop them, some won't. They'll be like, nah, man. Do you know what I mean? Some don't clean their house properly.
Yeah, that's a frequent thing, man.
Some of them will let you hit it bareback on the first day without even knowing you or knowing what your sexual history is.
Yeah.
With
that scenario though, like, I'm not saying that all the time is the case, but I do think like a lot of times, you know, like there's women out there. I'm not saying all women, because all women deal with different things in different ways, just like men. But I do think that there's I think people underestimate how much women out there or how much girls, females, have actually been abused. And I do think that situation that you're saying where people, certain women will make man hit bareback on the first day. I think when women are abused or females are abused, you get like one side or the other sort of response. So you'll get like a woman that will be like, you know what? Nah, you can't trouble me. And you have to go through all of this or whatever in order to make her feel safe. But then you get the woman, because I remember I dated a woman once, or got to know a woman once back in the day, and I remember I was talking to her about sex, and she said to me, oh, yeah, if you want it, you can have it. And this is like the first day when I was walking around with her and that, and I was like stunned. I said, "Rah, why are you saying that? Do you get me? That's too easy. I don't like things that are too easy. You get me?" Yeah. And she was like, "You know what, babe? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I was abused when I was younger, innit? So I just see it as, if I say no, you're probably gonna take it anyway. So if I say yes, I feel like I'm in control." I was like, "Fuck it, no."
Yeah.
That's mad, but I understand it.
Disclaimer, obviously, anything I say is not in judgment of anyone, because you know what? We all live in our glass houses. We all go through things. We've all done mad shit when we didn't know any better. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, if you say anything that you feel like you don't want to put out here or whatever, I can chop it out anyway. So
nah. Don't chop nothing out. Literally, we're having a real frank convo.
Jeez,
but I want women to understand that there's no judgment from either side. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I also feel like women have been conditioned to look up to men for validation through no fault of their own. You know, it starts from our dads. It starts from the men in our family. Do you know how much women just would love to have good men around them who actually really cared about them, cared about their safety, cared about their emotions, cared about their spiritual growth, cared about their health, you know, and they don't get that. They don't get that from the closest people they're meant to get that from. So they go out there and they seek that validation. And I can't lie, the men out there that are playing into that and using that to manipulate women actually show where the problem lies. I'll be real, because it starts from home. It starts with our fathers, our stepfathers, our brothers, our cousins. We watch some of the things they do. And some women will internalize it as, you know what, well, if he's a dog, I might as well just act a certain way and pretend that I want to be a city girl, when deep down inside, that's not really what I want to do. And it's not really how I want to be treated. But I notice that this is the only way I will get some kind of validation or attention from men who we are supposed to actually look up to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very deep. And some women, they don't know any better because that's all they've seen. I've been fortunate enough to come across great men in my life. So I have men who are my protectors, and they provide if I need them to provide, and they will profess that they love me as my family members or my step pups or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
That's because you carry yourself a certain way, right?
Yeah, but it takes work to get to this point, and I don't know if I've always carried myself this way. I think before I had very loose boundaries. I think
that's
I wore my heart on my sleeve. It's all part of development, though, isn't it? Most definitely. Do you know what I mean? I think I probably lacked even confidence in certain things. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. I may not have gone to certain extremes, but there's still been a process of me getting to the point where I'm at, where I don't accept certain things, whether you're a man or a woman.
Real talk.
It's a journey, you know? And I think a lot of the time, women are slut-shamed for things that they do, but in actuality, men, you were the leaders, so I'm not being funny. Where did you go wrong? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's not putting all the responsibility on men, but if we're being real, women started following men's leads and it all went pear-shaped, because when men were given certain power, they didn't handle it responsibly.
No, you're right.
They abused it. And that then made women decide that, well, actually, I can't rely on you because you abuse your power. You don't even begin to understand the actual meaning of a man of Christ, a man of God who protects, provides, and professes, and spiritually covers that woman. Do you know how much a responsibility that is? That's why even, they say in the Bible, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right?
Mm.
But if men have not led properly, yeah, it's all crazy. I can't lie. That's why there's all these gender roles that have been swapped, and yeah, everyone doesn't know. No one knows who they are. No one knows if they're she, they, the, cat, dog, bat, rat, black, white, pink, yellow. Like, it's wild. And I think it's all because we've gone against the natural way of how God wants us to do things, if I'm honest.
Mm.
We know deep down as human beings, even if we want to pretend, we have failed as a humanity. We are failing when we perpetuate and feed into certain things, and we're not honest to ourselves and to the people around us what this journey really undertakes, literally. I think,
Very good point, sis. You're spitting that fire, you made me smile still. I'm not gonna lie, you made me smile, man. Big time, big time.
Yeah, it's hard, even with men who have been abused, they do the same thing that women do. And we don't always recognize it as, oh, he's been abused.
Because it looks better. He's posing like a gallus and them kind of things there, like a womanizer. So it looks better from men to women. Men will celebrate, raw, you get bare girls and rare, and women will be like, oh, like he's a ladies man, and they're sought after him and all that and try and get his attention and that. So when it's a man, it can easily be overlooked. Do you get me? But the reality of the matter is the man is doing the same thing that the woman that's gone through abuse is doing. But because the woman is opening her legs and saying, oh, you can have it, because if I say no, you're going to take it anyway, they're going to look at it like she's a slut. And for me, I've never been a man that sleeps with women that I actually know beforehand is loose. And that's not a disrespect to them. I don't want a loose woman, and I don't like to. I like the chase. I like to, earn my keep when it comes to women. If you get what I'm saying. Any woman 100%. that I feel that I've been able to conjure up a relationship with, or get her in a situation on the first night or whatever, where I can sleep with her and stuff like that. If I feel that there's a sense of vulnerability there, or I feel that there's a sense of she does this all the time or whatever, even in the younger ages, I've never wanted it, because I don't see it as something that is a badge of honor. I know that sounds like a sad thing to say.
Nope.
Sounds like a sad thing to say, but I don't see it as a badge of honor. I can't go for a type of woman that I know would let off to everybody and then feel confident like, I got to do this with her, or it's mine, or do you get what I'm saying? I spent some time with her, because the reality of the matter is she'll do it with anybody that approaches her. And obviously she's got problems and stuff like that, which I can appreciate and understand. Obviously at a young age, you judge it more. But as an older man looking back, you'd be like, you know what? She's got problems. I kind of get it now. That's why it was what it was. You put the pieces of the puzzle together and understand what it is, innit? Do you get me? But I've never been a person that would take advantage of a woman. I've never been a person that will go to the club and I'm talking to a woman and she's getting drunk over time when I'm speaking to her, and I'm still trying to coax her to get her home. And at the moment I see drunkenness, or you're under the influence of something, or even if you're not under the influence, you're uncertain that you want to go back with me to go and do something, I'm not doing it, bruv. I've never been that guy. Yeah. Do you get me? But there's bare men out there that do it.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because one, like you said, it boosts them, and it's glorified, it's seen differently. But I want to give people a different perspective on it, right?
Go on.
Now, the reason why that man thinks it's something good is because his spirit resonates with the low entity that's attached to that woman from her sexual abuse. That's what that is. And if a man's been sexually abused and he sleeps around, he doesn't realize that he also has that entity on him, the Jezebel spirit entity on him. Hence why he operates in that low frequency of wanting to be glorified and his ego to be stroked, and he lacks sexual discipline. That's what that is. That's all low entities. When you're operating and you're trying to do your work and walk with God, you realize that there's certain entities, certain energy you can't operate in. And one of them is ego and a lustful spirit.
Facts.
But they don't even resonate that they have the spirit in them. That's why they now resonate with somebody else who has that. And we can do it automatically. Like if you're someone who's been abused and you're still going through certain things or you're growing spiritually, you can now become attached to somebody else who was also abused, but because they're not doing their work, you're going to see a lot of friction in the relationship because they are not doing their work. So even though you might highlight to them what they need to do, they're not going to do it because they still resonate more with the low entity than they do with the high entity of where you're trying to go. It's so deep, man. It's so fucking deep out here. So it's a lot. I understand why people just choose to say fuck it and do what they want to do, but that's the easy route, literally. And the easy route doesn't always bring the biggest rewards. Sometimes you have to do the work. Sometimes you have to look at yourself and know that, yeah, this ain't really actually good for my life, you know, and we shouldn't be seeking certain validation and all those things from people, but we've been conditioned as women to seek men's validation. The same way men in their own way have been taught the same thing. Men will say women are gold diggers, but yet still try to aspire to be wealthy and stuff because they know that it's going to attract women. Like, so make it make sense. Which one do you want?
The man gets something from that. The man that generates all these funds and gets the gold digger and will entertain the gold digger feels good that he's able to provide for the gold digger. Yeah. So it feeds his ego to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of men don't actually see women as human beings. That's what I've started to realize as well. We're just objects.
Is that in relation to incel culture, or you think in general?
I think in general.
Well,
when I say in general, yeah, because I see it in different backgrounds, if I'm honest, not just the black background.
I'm glad you said that still, because a lot of people will paint the black people on the negative, so I'm glad you said that. Go on.
Nah, I see it in all different areas of different cultures and backgrounds, if I'm honest. The suppression of women, the way some men think that women are objects and they can have them whenever they want to, their entitlement to a woman's body or making a woman do things. And men are very calculated in how they coerce and trick women into thinking that they are safe, thinking that they can get pregnant and all those things, only to turn around and abandon the whole ship, literally, and then wonder why the woman bugs out and then has the audacity to say she's crazy, but they won't tell the full truth of what they did, the coercion, the manipulation, the making that woman have a false sense of hope and safety for her to let her guard down, only for you to strike her. You striked her and you striked her good and proper, and then you wonder why she's retaliating. You know, like, and that's not to say there ain't women out there that do that ish too, but I'm just talking from a woman's perspective.
Yeah. Do you think the men that do that, do you think they're associated with like being providers, the money men, or do you think that goes across the board?
Goes across the board. You got even poor niggas that don't have a fucking pot to piss in playing games. You got ugly niggas fucking playing games and pulling the most finest woman and don't even know what the fuck to do with her. And that woman's got everything going for her, but then as soon as she gets with him, shit starts hitting the fan.
Yeah, for real.
It's no different. You got just two human beings toying with each other. We play with each other like we're things, we're items. People are not things or items to be used and tossed down when you finish playing with them. No, there's consequences. Sometimes you can mess with a person and you think they are just a mere mortal or not anything that great, but you don't know how highly they're ranked in the spiritual realm. So you now want to mess with their lineage, and then when they disperse from you, your ass starts getting thrashed, and you're wondering why your ass is getting thrashed because you messed with the wrong lineage.
Real
That's
talk.
how deep it is. When we're going to go deep, deep, deep and spiritual, you don't know who someone is when you meet them in the flesh. You have to get to know someone spiritually, really spiritually. And even then, you may not, reach the capacity that you may want to, but you don't know who someone is. So when you're thinking, oh, the guy begging on the street ain't no one, he could be a disciple of God's. You don't
I
know,
was
but you
just about to
treat him
say that,
bad.
It could be anointed peoples you're messing with that you're
All
underestimating.
right. A lot of people have messed with me, and I told them, oh, I'm very spiritual, yada, yada, yada. And they still want to play the game. And then when they play the game and they get burnt, they're probably thinking I did some kind of sorcery on them, but it's not that. You don't know my lineage. You may not understand it or believe it when I tell you, but I know, because I know the connection that I have with God. So why do you want to test it? And sometimes people just like to test your gangster when you're a nice person.
You say test your gangster.
Yeah, they do. Because they don't think you have any gangster in you. Because you're so polite, you're kind, you're giving, you try to be empathetic to people's feelings. So people want to see if that's who you really are. So they'll try to poke the bear just to see if they can get a reaction, to then turn around and be like, see, I know she went really a good person. I know he went really a great person. But it's not that. You experienced my niceness, but because you was taking it for some joking, I decided to let you see that I can be gangster too.
Isn't that insecurity from the person that's poking and prodding you side though?
Definitely.
Because in order to poke and prod somebody, they're trying to make themselves feel better again. So it's like feeding the ego, innit?
Definitely. And people do it. People do it. There's a lot of ego-based people in the world. Literally.
You see it on social media, man. It's smothered all over that shit.
Yeah. Definitely. We're all ego-based in some kind of way.
Yeah,
How much do you feed it? How much do you feed your ego? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I always try to go by the basis of treat people how you want to be treated, though. You get me, Divine? So
100%.
Yeah, so like even if I have got a bit of an ego and I got a level of confidence, I try to remain humble in everything that I do. I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Yeah.
But I try to remain humble. So I'm just like, you know what, even if I've got a skill set, even if I've got an ability or a characteristics that people gravitate to or whatever, I'm always like, you know what, like, that's my characteristic. You can have that characteristic too, but I'll never go on like, because I've got that characteristic, I'm better than you, because everybody else is capable of gaining that characteristic if they really wanted it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't like move like I'm better than people. It's about being humble, because, you know, from a young age, I've always been the type of guy that when I've been walking around London and stuff and walking under the subways and stuff around and that, I've stopped here and there and spoken to the homeless man under the subway. Yeah. Sleeping on the sleeping bag and like, raw, like drop some money and like, what happened to you? Do you get me? And they're like, oh, you know what? Life just happened to me. I had it all. I had my wife, I had my kids and stuff like that. And then one day my wife just got fed up or whatever, and she decided to just pack up and take my kids and leave. Do you get me? Yeah. And I came home and the house was empty. And I never saw my kids again from then. And he broke down and he'd be like, I was on, I don't know, 80K a month salary. Do you get me? I mean, a year, 80K a year salary. I was doing good. Do you get me? But when that happened to me, something broke me. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. And there was no return. I just gave up. Do you get me? Yeah. See what I'm saying? So to me, you could be up, but you could be down. And I've always been a person like, if I'm up and I have the capacity to go down, because nobody's safe from going down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Where you come from, the people that you know, the people that are your foundation, the good ones, because there's some pussios in your foundation too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the good ones, if you keep in touch, check on them. When you even if you don't keep in touch and check on them, when you come across them, you treat them with bare manners and respect and give them time. We saying, you're right, how's your mum? How's your... Just you asking how their mum is and you remember their mum's name, and that will make them be like, right, he's still down to earth. So when you fall, those people will still more than likely help you. When you go on like you're too big for people, this is my platform, or I'm famous, or I'm rare. Nobody don't want to help you, blood. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah. Especially if you're a cocky person who like to trod on people because you thought you was better or higher than them. Why would anyone want to help you?
Exactly.
You know, I've got people in my family that view me like, oh, you think you're higher than anybody, than everyone. And I'm thinking, you actually don't know me, because I'm actually one of the most humblest people you can meet. And I've noticed that a lot of people have a misconception of who the fuck they think I am.
I call saying you, man. You're thoroughbred.
Yeah, but people like to put you in boxes. Do you know what I mean? And when you don't fit into the box that they put you in, then they may come with stories, or they perceive you a certain way in their mind. And I've noticed that about people when it comes to me. Like, I've had people who meet me and think, oh, this girl grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth and her life was easy. She'd never been through anything hard. And then when I know you've prejudged me like that, and then I tell you my story, it shocks them, because I'm like, you don't know who's who. Just because someone doesn't look like what they've been through doesn't mean they haven't been through anything. And just because someone chooses, because happiness is a choice, we choose to be happy, doesn't mean we don't have sad days, or we haven't cried or endured through the night and joy comes in the morning, as the Bible says. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of us have cried our tears in private and still been that shoulder for someone else to lean on in the midst of our own storm. But you just wouldn't know that, because we're not out here operating in our ego. We're actually just being chilled, literally.
I think the fact that they think that you haven't been through anything and you've got a silver spoon in your mouth is a testament to how far you've come with what you've been through, because now all they see is that you're on a positive vibration and you're happy. So if they want to overlook that, it means that you've moved past the past and past the past.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely can look at it like that as well, for sure. You know, but it's crazy how we even just prejudge each other as human beings. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I try to be mindful of not being a judgy person. I can't lie, but there's some things that bother me, like people who molest kids, or people who help elderly people, or animals. You're just cruel. You're just kicking up a dog or doing some mad shit. I can't lie.
You can't live your life without judgment. I don't agree with that. When people say, it's only God's job to judge. Like, people say that, but I'm like, mate, you have to judge. Doesn't matter what, the levels of judgment is different. Do you get me? So when you say judgment, like somebody may commit a crime and you might think he deserves to die. That's a big judgment. Do you get me?
Defo.
But there's judgment that we make in everyday lives. We can call it micro judgments, if you like, where we might be walking on the street and we see somebody who looks mentally unstable on the same side of the road as us. Now we cross the road. The only reason why we cross the road in order to keep ourselves safe is because we judge that person as somebody that's gonna be a risk to our safety.
Yeah, for real.
Do you get me? If you don't have judgment in you, you won't survive.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. It's so deep.
Yeah.
It's so deep out here, man. Like, it's a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot, man.
People, listen, you heard the spill. You get me? Me, Divine Lady 23, dropping gems as always. Much appreciated to you, sis. You get me?
Yeah, it's a good one, bro.
This is it. So yeah, man, next time we'll catch you again, man, when it comes to this thing, and we'll see you again on the Triggered thoughts
Bro.
online. You get me?